Hey everyone, we're going to install some Alpine component sets, and what we have is the SPV65X WRA. The WRA actually stands for Wrangler. These are made specifically for the JKU, but they'll also fit in the JL and JTs. What it comes with is you've got your mids, you've got your tweeters, comes with crossovers for your tweeters, some grills in case if you want to use those, the adapter depending on what style tweeters are in your Jeep depending on the year, and some polyfill to help it deaden some sound and improve the sound. So we'll take a look at installing these and how easy it is. We're going to actually start with the front speakers on the Jeep. First thing we need to do is take this plastic knee bolster piece off, and there's just 4 clips holding it on. So if you grab it here, and you grab it over on this side, and you gently pull, the top clips will come off. You can see there's 2 clips up here. You pull them out, clip here, and then it just slides off of the lower part of the dash. We can set this aside. Next thing we need to do is we need to take off this trim piece on the side of the dashboard. This one's gonna be a little harder because I have a switch pod in here, but still not bad. I can get my fingers in here. I don't need a trim tool, so it doesn't mark it up. And again, these have those clips on there. They just easily pull out. You can see there's a bunch of clips, and if you just grab it by the edge, gently pull, slide out, comes right out. After that, there's 4 bolts, 7mm bolts in here, 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 and over here that are gonna need to come out, and 1 underneath. I'm using a 1/4-inch ratchet, an extension, and a deep 7mm 6-point socket. And I have 1 more underneath the dash. I'm going to sneak up right behind the door harness. With the dash free, I'm going to take out these 2 8mm bolts that hold the pod in. And then I have 1 more 10mm bolt, which is right here. So you're going to get a 10mm on an extension, and you should be able to take it right out. Okay, now your speaker pod should be free to move. Okay, and what they tell you to do in the instructions is gently pull this back. And a little bit of a tip is watch this corner right here so that you don't crease it. So as I'm pulling this back, I'm watching that corner. I'm going to get it back slightly. I'm going to reach up in here, and the back right corner of this speaker pod is a connector. Now, they do tell you in the instructions to take this panel off, but you can reach that. It's solely really to get the connector in the back, but you can reach it over the top of the speaker pod without pulling that off. I didn't pull mine off because I have my brake controller for my off-road trailer on the back side of this, and I just didn't want to disconnect it or mess around with it. So I'm pulling this back, and it comes right out. And we're going to take our pod over to the box and put our new speaker in. So to change my speaker out of the pod, I'm just taking these 4 screws out. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 3 screws. Take this out, I'm going to take these 3 screws out. Plug the back of my speaker. And I've got a little tab I just push down, pull. You can actually see the difference in these speakers. They're made to go in this box, but definitely quality difference. All right, guys. So once you have your speaker out, you're gonna take your polyfill, cut a small slit in the middle of it with the razor blade. And that's going to be for my wire to go through. And then I'm just going to kind of stuff this in there. We're going to take the connector. So there's two connectors on here. You have one that's for 2007, 2014, and then you have another one that's directly on the speaker. So we're going to go ahead and actually use, since this is a 2018 JKU, we're going to go ahead and use the one directly on the speaker. Plug it in, tuck this in, place our speaker. Speaker on there. We can put the screws, 3 screws back in. Little tip, when you're putting these in, put your finger at the bottom of the screwdriver, and that way if you slip off, you don't poke a hole in the speaker or the surround. So I'm going to pull this back away. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on that corner over there, make sure I don't stretch it too far or pull it too far. And this is just going to roll back in. Now, before I go back all the way, I want to make sure that I plug this back in. All right, guys, so once you have this plugged back in, and like I said, if you're struggling with it, you can take the metal part of the knee bolster out and it makes it a little easier. Once you have that in, you just roll this back towards the back of the dash. Start these. Put a 7mm on there. I'm not going to tighten them all the way up. I'm going to run them about halfway in, and then I'm going to start the one on the bottom that holds the speaker pod, just to make sure that everything lines up. Once you have that started, you can go ahead and tighten that up. 10mm. And then tighten these 2 8s up, or 7s. Okay, once my speaker's tightened up, I'm going to go ahead and put my dash back. Lower knee bolster. And again, 5 7mm screws, one on the bottom. And I got 4 that go around here. Okay, once I have those in, I'm just going to pop my panel back on. So this goes on first on these bars down here. That's it, pushes right on. Same thing with this one. This is going to tuck under the A-pillar trim. Once you got it lined up, clips back on. That's it, driver's side woofer's done. Okay, so we're gonna put the tweeter in up here, and it's a little more difficult because of the A-pillar switches, but first thing we need to do is take the phone mount off. And it's real simple. I'm grabbing back here. Again, I don't even need a trim tool. I'm just grabbing back here. I can kind of get my fingers under it and pull straight up. Comes right off. 2 clips, 1 and 2. And then I'm going to use my 1/4-inch stuff. Now I got a swivel on here because of the A-pillar switch pod's kind of under here. So put the swivel on it. It's kind of the beauty of using a rubber handle ratchet. You saw that I bumped the windshield. Helps to protect components inside the car in case you do something like that. 2 screws are out, and this tweeter should lift right out. And again, I'm just going to unplug it. You can see I have plug here. There's a clip that you've got to release, and it pulls right out. And then we'll go and prep our tweeter for this and put it in here. All right, guys, so my Alpine tweeter, and because I don't have the tombstone style bases for the tweeters, I'm actually going to need this adapter plate. All that happens is this guy snaps right into here. Goes. Okay. And then I do need my crossovers, so I have 2 different leads. I have a +3 and a 0 decibel lead. I'm going to use the +3. So I'm going to connect my back. Together. Actually, I'm going to use my 0 decibel, 0 dB, together, and then this is just going to plug into the car. And you have 2 different pigtails here, so again, it's plug and play. 2015 to 2017, and 2007 to 2014. Since this is an 18, this will work in here. We'll just use the 2015 and 2017 plug. All right, guys, so all I need to do is plug in my pigtail to my vehicle harness, and then I'm going to tuck all this down in the dash. There's kind of a pocket in there. You can sort of work it all down in there. This guy just sits on top. And we're going to put our 2 7mm screws back in. Okay, tighten them up. And then I'm just going to take my grill and put it back on. Just pops back on, and that's it.